Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Initiatives to Watch. Now, this one I think is the most interesting series we're going to have, at least, as of now, because people don't pay attention to ballot measures as much as they pay attention to other things. So I think this will be an interesting series. We're going to be covering updates on how very interesting ballot initiatives are going. We're not going to cover, the boring ones that you don't care about. Like, there's one in Indiana about a balanced budget. No one cares about that. But we are going to cover the ones that I have identified as interesting. You can agree or disagree. I will be because we just got off primaries to watch. I'll be updating the list as we go on. Let's start with the main story that we have right now. And that is, No is leading by around 15 or so points in Missouri. Let's see if I can find that as a story, because it is a very interesting story. For those who don't know, right to work is an anti-union law the Republicans support, Democrats oppose. It essentially, it has something to do with the union dues. I know, I'm very informed about this. But the basic thing is Missouri is having a ballot initiative on this, and is going to be voted on during the Missouri primary, which is August 7th. So not too long from now. And no is to repeal the right to work law in Missouri. Yes is to keep it. No is leading by around 15 or so points. Let's see if we can search that up, if we can spell it correctly. Jesus. Missouri right to work votes. Yeah, we should be able... Okay, these are just stories about it. Okay, let's see if we can get about B. I'm just trying to find the actual poll so I can get the exact number of the poll. Is this it? Okay, yes. The Missouri Times released polling from the Remington Research Group, which, by the way, that is a Republican pollster. Key thing to note: of the 1,034 Missouri voters surveyed, 38% said they would vote yes. 56% said they would vote no. 6% were undecided. So that is a huge, huge margin for no. Like a huge, huge margin. So that's around 18 or so points, doing the math in my head. So it's a wide margin. So now, of course, we'll be watching that on Missouri primary day, and now that we've gotten the only main story, because there aren't as many stories to cover on initiatives because no one cares about initiatives. Not as much as others. But we're going to go... Since this is the first episode and, this is the introductory one, I'm going to introduce you to the ones we're watching. First off, I have an image right here we're going to pull up. The states in green are states that I've identified with initiatives that are interesting to watch. The number is how many initiatives there are to watch. You'll see it goes as low as 1 in Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, to as high as 4 in Florida, and there are 3 you can see a line of states there in Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. 3 in there, and also 3 in South Dakota, 2 in Oklahoma, and the states that are in black do not have any interesting ballot initiatives. That doesn't mean they don't have any ballot initiatives. That just means the ones they do have are boring. Like the Indiana initiative, which is a balanced budget. That's not worth identifying on this map. Now, when it comes to sort of general ones that are being voted on in a number of areas that are interesting, I'm going to sort of run off a couple here. First off, 6 states are voting on Marsy's Law, which is a crime victims, proposal. 6 states are voting on that. I couldn't identify them all off the top of my head, but I know that Kentucky is one of them that is voting on that. North Carolina is voting on voter ID. West Virginia is voting on an abortion ban. That's one of them. So those are some interesting ones. A few states are also voting on redistricting. Specifically, how redistricting is done. Now, the main states that are, doing that are Utah, Colorado, and Michigan. All those states are voting if they're going to have an independent commission for redistricting. Utah is voting on the Medicaid expansion. So there's a lot of interesting ones that we're going to be watching. Michigan's other one, by the way, is marijuana legalization. That's another very interesting ballot initiative to watch to see if it passes in Michigan. And it would be the first, it's recreational, by the way. It's full legalization. So it'll be interesting to see if it passes, because that would be the first swing-ish state to really do it besides Colorado. And it would be in a much different area of the country. Obviously, most of the places that have legalized at this point are either on the East Coast, like in Massachusetts, for example, or on the West Coast with California, and of course, the middle of the country, sort of Colorado. The Rust Belt would be getting its first addition to the lineup, so that's worth watching. But yeah, that's just the first episode. Hopefully, we'll get a decent bit, and I'll of course make videos and update when I identify a new initiative that's on the ballot or something else to watch. But yeah, thanks for watching, and this was the first episode of Initiatives to Watch. Hope you'll stay tuned. I certainly will.